It was a sunny day in November 1973, and the world of rock and roll was in for a delightful twist. The Beatles had gone their separate ways just a few years before, leaving fans grappling with the end of an era. But today, something surprising was happening. Ringo Starr, known as the steady beat and joyful heart of the Beatles, was about to release his third solo album, simply titled Ringo. People who had once seen him as just the drummer were in for a revelation. Starr was ready to make his mark, and he had enlisted the help of a few very familiar faces to make this album unforgettable. By the early 70s, Ringo had already ventured into solo territory, with mixed success. His first two solo albums had taken very different paths. One, a collection of standards, the other an attempt at a country sound. But with Ringo, he was stepping out with a true rock album, one that he hoped would capture not only his talent, but his personality. A blend of humor, warmth, and a bit of cheek. The album was crafted in Los Angeles, where Starr assembled a lineup of incredible musicians, including members of the band and famous producer Richard Perry, who had a knack for understanding what made artists tick. What made Ringo truly special, though, was that it brought something fans had longed for: a mini Beatles reunion. Although the Fab Four hadn't played together since the breakup, three of Ringo's old bandmates made appearances on the album. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison each contributed in various ways, from playing instruments, to lending their voices to background vocals, to even writing some of the songs. It was the closest thing fans would get to a Beatles collaboration in the 70s, and that touch of magic gave Ringo a distinct energy that set it apart. The album was not just a hit with fans, it was also a critical success. Songs like Photograph and You're 16 became standout tracks, showcasing Ringo's warm, raspy voice in a way that hadn't been fully appreciated before. These songs combined the best of 70s rock with Ringo's playful spirit, turning him from just the drummer into a solo star in his own right. The album climbed the charts and, for the first time, Ringo saw his name shining just as brightly as the other three Beatles. In the end, Ringo wasn't just a solo album. It was a celebration of friendships and memories, a way for Ringo to stay connected to his Beatles roots while stepping confidently into his own spotlight. This album wasn't just a nostalgic nod to the past, it was a statement of who Ringo Starr was becoming. It showed the world that he was more than capable of holding his own, armed with charm, musicality, and a few good friends. And so, on that chilly November day, the world got to know Ringo Starr, solo artist, and rock's endearing storyteller, in a whole new way.